Good afternoon. This is for Heritage Park residents. My name is Barbara Gast. I'm your president for Heritage Park Retirement Condominiums. On behalf of the board of directors, that would include Richard and Bob and um, Betty and Ellen. We're working together as a team to try to prepare definitely for the elevators going down very shortly. That would be beginning May 2nd. On a Monday, we should start the upgrade with our south tower. And then we'll move 2 weeks later, which would be about May 16th, doing the north tower. We'll keep you abreast. Our communications committee has been coordinating those that have special needs during this time where they may not be able to go up and down the stairwell with those who are willing to volunteer. There's some parameters we put around this, and you'll be hearing more about this, but we certainly don't want to leave anyone in a lurch saying that you uh, um, cannot get down or up. Certainly do not plan any moving, do not plan on large purchases, for instance, whether it's large amount of supplies. Our volunteers are not going to be able to carry heavy things up the stairs, but certainly for the essentials so that you're not abandoned. Okay. And each tower operates separately. It's too bad there's not some kind of bridge across. That would solve our problem, but it's not there. All right, we will be having a board meeting April 19th, and we'll have a board meeting on the following week, which is April 27th. Now, the first meeting is a business meeting on Tuesday. It represents going over details of any items that we need, some background information, prepare for what kind of language we need, an motion or a policy, but try to do some of the legwork now that when we go the following week on the next Wednesday at 6 p.m., we have a regular board meeting that takes maybe an hour because we're prepared and we can just go through and vote on it. So that we invite all of you, any of you. There's Zoom if you're out of town, or even if you don't want to leave your unit, you can certainly come in. We are trying to upgrade the Wi-Fi. We're in process, and not because we want to be nice about this, but we do have requirements with the city of Phoenix with getting a permit to upgrade the elevator. There are new codes that we have to satisfy. One of them is that we have to have Wi-Fi in both elevators. If you get stuck, there is communication not only by phone, but there's internet access. That's a fairly new requirement, but we fall under that. That also affects then how we might address Wi-Fi in the activity room at the library. So we're hopefully going to get that so it's operating a little bit better for those of you that have struggled with it as far as hearing. Then the other item is the phone lines. That also has to be in connection with what's happening in the elevator. Those phone lines affect the fire equipment and as well as security. So we're having all that reviewed and brought up to code or adjusted to what it meets our needs better. We have landscape. Some of you may wonder, well, why isn't the landscape just the way, it's showing a little browning. We did not reseed it for the spring. As we go into summer, we're taking a look now. We're trying to adjust. We're looking at a different landscape company. We're looking at bids, getting 3 bids from companies so we can look at how to service our community a little bit better. Excuse me. We also have the issue of looking at changing the type of landscape. But before that happens, we will have a series of workshops. But part of our interest in a landscape firm is their ability to draft information, maybe sketch out some landscape options for us so we use less water. We're probably using, I believe it's around $50,000 a year on water. That's quite a bit, and it's not going to get better. So if you've heard this discussion in board meetings, but for some of you, it may be new to you. We have pigeons. The pigeons are not out of control on the roofs just yet, but we're not waiting. We're bringing in the hawks, and the hawks are working on this. It's removing the birds. They're not after little animals, your dog or cat or any of that. What they are doing, they're trained specifically on pigeons, and handlers are here, and they'll be doing that for the next couple of months. So just be aware. They do it about 9 o'clock at night, and they're here more heavily right now. In April and May, they'll be here more frequently. Then we taper off into August. We also been looking at safety features as far as the doors. Some of the doors we've had to adjust. We've had the locksmith out a number of times, so that is now, it seems to be functioning fine. So, but if there are complaints or there are concerns, something you're observing, the best way to communicate with the board, with the management company, is to fill out a complaint form, and you can find one at the front desk. You can fill it out, you can mail it in. What you can also fill it out online at the website, and that's the most efficient. They actually capture and keep it with your unit numbers. So if you called in, we would know immediately, as far as the Golden Valley would have access to those records. I want to remind you, as far as your payments, you should not be putting payments in the suggestion box or where the vendor return keys are. And for confidentiality, that's the problem, that we don't know who has access. So you cannot put payments of any type in there, or complaints. If you need assistance, check with somebody at the front desk or a board member. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's spring, and we got a lot of things flying around, so it's certainly affecting me and my nose. And I hope you're doing okay on your end. We will be working closely with on the elevators, on the maintenance committee, making certain that we're okay. If you have questions, reach out to any board member other than complaints. I think with that being said, that's where we stand at this point. We'll try to step up some of the frequency. If you don't have an email address, you might consider putting one. You can create one free of charge, such as a Gmail or a Google email, and that you will be better informed, or check with somebody, a neighbor, a friend, who maybe could check for you. That I used to do that with my grandmother. I used to print out emails and take it to her, read them for her. And she would kind of joke saying, I have email. My grandmother lived to be 107, so it's kind of funny in our family. But maybe you could do the same thing. We are indebted to the people serving on committees. The welcoming committee has been extremely busy. This is not urgent, but we really felt it was something that needed to be done with the changing of the management companies. So one of the things that we're doing is to we have a welcome packet that goes from the management company to the person who's in escrow. We also have a welcome packet that's put together by our welcoming committee and delivered to someone who moves in. That would include a directory, for instance, a printed out directory. They've been very diligent on this. It's very impressive, all the hard work and the preciseness. We have not changed any of the house rules, but we have updated as far as the language, saying it refers to APM when it's no longer it's Golden Valley. So that new just realigned, but the essence of the rules remain the same. If we're changing the rule, let's say the size of a dog or an animal, then we would go through the process of having meetings and allowing people to comment before we would actually make it. All right, that's about it. It's warming up. Keep a smile on your face. Oh, I just a reminder, if you're out by the pool, the city has warned us, and I'm just saying this, if you want a pool, you adhere to the pool rules. And what we seem to violate, leaving the gate propped open, if the city inspector catches that, they will close down the pool. They've already warned us. So remind your neighbors, remind if you see somebody doing this, saying it's hurting everybody if you do that. Second thing is don't have food or drink within 4 feet of the pool. That is a rule. You can't be in the pool drinking. You can't be sitting by the side, sitting with your feet hanging over. Those are the city's rules, and we had to abide by it. So we can be written up on either one of those and the pool be closed. Just a heads up. Okay. Hope you're enjoying yourself. It's good. Busy spring, but I think we'll be very pleased with the results of the elevators as we move into May. Take care.